Those of you who've bike packed or even ridden know how hard it is often to find things to lean your bike against when you want to stop. You know, trees are in hot demand when you get to camping grounds. Often they're not right next to where your tent is. I'm finding, particularly while I'm filming, I'm forever having to stop on the side of the road and there's nowhere for me to put my bike. I'm lying it on the ground. I'm putting a lot of pressure on my fork bags, which seem to hit the ground, potentially knocking my derailleur out of tune, especially if I'm lying on the wrong side. I don't really want to put a bike stand on a bike. That's a lot more weight. I'm also not even sure whether a bike stand will work to hold a bikepacking bike up, especially on soft ground. Now, I have seen a concept of a product which is like a foldable pole. It goes from the bike frame down to the ground, and that's what we're going to make today. Well, I should caveat that. This is a prototype. You're watching me make the first one. This is going to be a tricky thing to film because I'm working it out as I go along. First off, I bought some tent poles online. So AliExpress, this is 3.6 meters of aluminium tent poles. They have the elastic in the middle, and they have a sort of a smaller diameter pipe here, which the other pipe just fits inside. This is way more length than I need, which is good because I need to take two poles, what are we going to call these? Two bike stands out of this. And also these segments are too long. I don't want something this long on my bike. We're going to have the ability to cut this down in size. I need something that can go on the end that's going into the ground. Okay, so I've got this here, which is a replacement foot for a hiking pole. This from AliExpress cost $1 US. I need something to clip onto the bike, or something as a cradle to hold onto the bike frame. I'm using these 25mm PVC pipe clips. So the idea with these is they screw into the wall and then the pipe clips onto them. Let's see how this looks. So something like that. I had to buy these in New Zealand because I was too impatient. So these cost an extortionate amount, $3. And then something else would be a strong rubber band. So this rubber band, these come with any bike lights, you know, your Garmin bike computers, that sort of thing. But I guess any sort of stronger hairband or something will probably do the job. That's for holding the brakes. So first up, I sort of worked out the length of the pipe here. So, or the stand, I think it sort of needs to be about 75 centimeters. And I'm choosing to go in just here, just in front of my rear wheel. I'm obviously just using a hiking pole here to work out the size. And that looks about right. My wife's bike is a little bit lower because she's got a full suspension bike. So I think we'll sort of start with the 75. We can always go shorter. I'm thinking I want this pole at about a 45-degree angle and maybe the bike leaning over maybe 10 degrees, something like that. So that sort of works out well. Obviously the bike is still moving forward and back, and that's where this rubber band comes in handy. So all we do is slip that over the handlebar and then secure it onto the brake. I've got disc brakes. You don't need much pressure for them to hold. I mean, it's not like you're fully locking it up, you're just stopping it rolling. When you're not using it, we just roll that forward. So each of these segments of the aluminium pole are about 30 centimeters each. So we're probably going to cut those down to about 15 centimeters each. And then if we put 5 segments together, that'll give us 75, which is going to be about perfect. So we're going to be able to halve each one. So I would say the first step is going to be to undo this bungee cord here, elastic. And that came across very easily. Excellent. Alright, so now we're going to try cutting some of this aluminium pipe. Thinking, I've just opened the vise up just a bit to make a bit of a crevice. Put a rag over here so I don't damage the pipe. And yeah, that's going to hold in place pretty well. So let's see how we go with a hacksaw. I'm just cutting a little bit off first just to check this works. Not that easily. Yeah, that wasn't easy, but it cut okay. It's a reasonably clean cut. I'll just get the file on there. I might just try it with the jigsaw and see if that's any better. Okay, I told you I was bringing you on the journey with me. We're going to try the jigsaw. This could end up really working out really badly. I've got obviously my glasses on, so safety first. I'm not sure I've used the right jigsaw blade. I might try another one. Okay, this is the third jigsaw blade I've tried. I'm not sure whether I'm using the wrong blades or not. But you know what? Through the magic of technology, through filming, you may never see these outtakes. Yeah, I think that is right. Didn't take the teeth off the jigsaw blade. I'm sure these aren't the most expensive ones. Look, it's still going to need a file, but I think that's the way to go. Let's start cutting the real ones. Okay, so we're going with 15 centimeters on each one. Let's just get the file on these and straighten them up a bit. Okay, we just get rid of any burrs on the inside so that the pipes go together well. Just got a little round file here. Right, let's see how well it goes together. Perfect. Very nice. And so the total length is going to be really, or it's going to be quite small when it's finished, you know, like it's really big, no bigger than a hand. Well, okay, maybe it's 2 hands. Okay, next step is we'll grab that piece of elastic. Now the other end already had the end tied on, so I think we'll reuse that. And all we're going to do is thread that through the pipe that didn't have an end on it. That's going to be the end piece of the pipe. Okay, now what we're going to do is, because the footer or the trekking pole end is a wider diameter than the pipe, than the tent pole, I'm just going to wrap it in insulation tape. As I said, this is the prototype. I might better come up with a better option in the future, but for the first cut, this will do. Okay, that looks really good. All right, next step, let's thread the rest of the pipes on. Okay, that's gone together really nicely. So the foot's on, all the segments have joined together. I've got the elastic through. Now I just need to make the cradle bit that's going to clip onto the bike. So what I think I'll do for that is I'm going to try and drill out an 8mm hole into the bottom of this little clamp. It doesn't need to be a firm fit, I don't think, because what I think I'm going to do is on the other side I'm just going to tie tie a knot in the elastic which will fit into that hole there. So hopefully I can drill out 8mm and still get just a little bit of support here. With plastic it's always a worry that the drill bit is going to grab and tear. I'll just go slow. Hopefully it centers because there's really not much material here. Whoops, there's the grabbing. I'll go reverse, forward, just try and clean that up. Yeah, I'm hoping that's enough. I really don't want to go down too deep. I'm going to have to get that drill bit in there just to clean out that plastic that was in there. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, it's gone all the way through. Maybe a drill press could have done that better. Look, it's nice and clean, but now I'm not sure how I'm going to stop it from sliding down on the pole. Because the problem I'm going to have now is it's going to go... Well, maybe it isn't a problem. It's actually... Because it's an 8mm pipe with an 8mm drill bit, it actually doesn't fit in there. So maybe I'm going to be able to wedge it in there and I won't need to even put the elastic on it. So now what I'm hoping to do is just wriggle the drill bit a bit and widen it up right on the top here. By going in a bit of a circular motion, hopefully I've made it more like cone shaped, which will be perfect. Yeah, I think this is going to work well. Okay, you can see it taking plastic off, so it's working. What I might try and do is, on this offcut, I might just practice filing down the edge a little bit. If I can get this to be a bit more pointed, then that might just go in there. I don't want to cut that plastic any smaller, or I don't want to cut that hole any bigger if I can help it. As you see, this is just the practice run. Yeah, I think that's going to go in really well. All right, I think what I'll do now is I'll try the actual real piece. Okay, that came out really well. Okay. Yeah, that's going to go in really well. What I might do is just heat this up with the heat gun a little bit, just so it softens the plastic, and then hopefully it'll go in there and it'll actually stay in there. Don't really want to burn my fingers, so I'll just put this on the pliers. I don't want to heat it up too much, just a little bit to hopefully soften the plastic. I can feel that's already softened the plastic up. Oops, it went right through. Maybe that's not a bad thing. I could actually drill it out and actually put a pin through there, which actually might be even better. Okay, with all good projects, don't be afraid to change your approach. I've got this pipe pushed in here now, but there's nothing stopping it going all the way through, and I don't really want that aluminium part of the tent pole going on my bike frame. So what I was originally going to do was only bring the pipe halfway through and then have the elastic come through and tie a knot in the top and be hidden in that sort of hole there. But I've got nowhere for the elastic now too. So what I think I might do is drill a hole on this side of this clamp here and put in a small pot rivet, which I think will go in there quite nicely, and that'll stop it from sliding too much. On the other side, I'm thinking I might drill a bigger hole through, and I'm going to bring the elastic through there, so there'll be a knot just on this side where the at the end of the elastic. Anyway, this is a prototype, yeah, but this is I think this will work. I think this is a good plan. Whoa, so much faster. So hopefully with a bit of patience and the scribe, I might be able to push the end through that hole. How does that feel? Let's get a knot in there. Yeah, it's not going to go through the hole. So there's one end, a rivet holding it in place. Here's our other end with its rubber foot, and then packing it up. There's the finished result. I am rapt with that. Let's have a look and see how that would look on the bike. Okay, so this would easily fit into one of my little side pouches on my feed bag. It would easily fit into one of these top tube bags, any one of those, or I can probably easily put it down here in my frame bag. Setting it up. Look at that. That is quick and easy. Love it. All in all, very successful little project. So all up, 84 grams is all it's going to add to your bike weight, and $12 in materials, and one rivet. I've added a bit of Velcro, and that's included in that weight, just to tidy it up. So all you need to do is undo the Velcro, snap it into place, the rubber foot on the ground, the little U-clamp to go on your bike, and then lean your bike into it, like that. And there is the finished result.